Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. I am Harrison Graham, filming from my house. We are 2 days away from the season opener against the San Francisco 49ers. Get those score predictions going in the comments section. Let me know who you got winning and what the final score is going to be. The reason I am here filming another video today, this one from my house, is because we've got breaking news, and I'll be honest, some puzzling news, at least some of this. We'll get to the injury updates later on in the show. We have an update on Velus Jones Jr., Dominique Robinson, and George Kittle. Stay tuned. But first, couple of roster moves for Chicago just 2 days before the home opener against San Francisco. The Bears have released defensive tackle Mike Pennel and defensive lineman Sam Kamara off the practice squad. Pennel was on the 53-man roster. Kamara was on the practice squad. And so now I'm thinking, why are you cutting a defensive tackle just days before the season starts? I mean, that leaves you one player down. So I think there's a couple of things to consider here. Number one, you're probably going to elevate someone from the practice squad, I would think. I think that's number one. Trayvon Coley would be a candidate. I thought he should have made the team over Mike Pennel to begin with. And if they replace Pennell's 53-man roster spot with someone after I film and push out this video, I will put a comment in the comment section of this show, so we'll have you covered that way. But for now, you're kind of thin at defensive tackle going into this game. You've got Armon Watts, who you just picked up, Justin Jones, obviously, and Angelo Blackson. That's kind of it. You picked up Kingsley Jonathan, who's kind of more of an edge guy, as one of your waiver claims after roster cuts. I got to think someone's being elevated from the practice squad for this game. So again, if that becomes official, we will let you know in the comments section if someone like Trayvon Coley is called up. Some other guys on the practice squad, just rolling through the roster here. Let me just kind of filter it real quick as we do this on the fly. Coley's really the only candidate for that. Remember, no Micah Treadaway anymore. I guess you could sign him off the streets. He's had a couple of workouts recently, but if you're cutting Mike Pennel, I got to think there's a reason. So stay tuned. We'll see what that looks like come game day. Maybe Coley just kicked his ass this week in practice, and they're like, you know what? We made a mistake. He should have made the 53. Let's cut Pennel, put Coley on the 53 for this game. That could end up being the case, but there is an open roster spot, and we will have to wait and see who that roster spot goes to. All right. And then Sam Kamara cut as well off the practice squad. So that frees up a practice squad slot. So 53-man roster spot open, practice squad opening as well. Going to be interesting. Perfect reason to subscribe to the channel, because when news drops, we hit you with the video. Hit that big red button and subscribe today, because this is the fastest growing Bears channel on YouTube, and no one's putting out more content than we are. So hit that sub button. And of course, join us for Sunday's game against the Niners. And if you've been watching us for a few weeks here, subscriber competition with the 49ers report. So let's be sure to beat Chase Sr. and the 49ers report and new subscribers. All you got to do is subscribe. It's 100% free. All right, so we shift off the roster stuff to the injury stuff, which is more pertinent to this matchup here on Sunday. Velus Jones Jr. did not practice again. He is listed as doubtful for this game. Now, Matt Eberflus did have a comment. He says he's working through that. We're close. We're getting close with it. I think it's going to be good here soon. And he did confirm that this hamstring injury, is the same issue that sidelined him during the preseason training camp. So I would view that as a positive. At least this isn't a new injury, because, you know, if you see guys that get, different injuries, close together, you're like, okay, that guy might be injury prone, but at some point, he pulled his hamstring in training camp, and he's been working through it. At least that's what it sounds like. So he's doubtful. I don't think he's going to play in this one. I think you hold him out, and you hope that he is able to play in Week 2 against the Green Bay Packers. FGB's down in the comments. Now, I do wonder if they think Velus Jones isn't going to play, could they have cut Mike Pennel to bring in a receiver? You don't necessarily have to do that, because you can elevate a practice squad guy for game day, but maybe Isaiah Coulter gets on the active roster. Who knows? That's just me speculating. All right, Dominique Robinson, officially listed as questionable. He was a full participant on Friday, so after being limited Wednesday and Thursday full go today. If his knee responds well tomorrow and Sunday before the game, I would think he would be available. He would possibly be active. Now, as the fourth edge guy, it's possible he wouldn't be active anyway on game day because not all 53 players are. I believe 46 are, or up to 46. So we will see if Robinson is one of those guys, but it's good to see him trending up. I have high hopes for him. He's still raw, but he's got a lot of upside. He really, really does. So excited to see Dominique Robinson trending up and hopefully being able to play coming up here on Sunday. So Dominique Robinson questionable. Velus Jones Jr. officially doubtful for this game. He has yet to practice this week. You know who else hasn't practiced? George Kittle, the all-pro tight end for the San Francisco 49ers. He was out again today. Now, the Niners have listed him as questionable for Sunday. As a vet, as a guy who's played through injuries before, he could be kind of one of those categorical players that doesn't practice all week but still suits it up on Sunday. We saw it a lot last year with Khalil Mack early on in the year before they ultimately shut him down. But maybe the Niners look at that Max situation as like, yeah, he played and fought through stuff, but eventually the injury got worse and we had to shut him down. Obviously, San Francisco doesn't want to lose Kittle for the year at some point. So we'll see. It's 50-50, I would say. It sounds like the smart decision for the Niners would be to hold Kittle out, but we all know how competitive he is. He's played through a lot of injuries before, but it is a 17-game season. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You got to think if you're San Francisco, the smart thing to do here would be to hold him out. Now, if this is week 18 and it's win or go home, yeah, I would expect him to play, but this is not that scenario, and I do think there's a chance that he will not play. Now, if you hate injuries, type H in the comments, regardless of what side you're on, the Bears or the Niners here. Obviously, it would benefit the Bears if George Kittle did not play. It would also benefit the Bears if Velus Jones Jr. did play. You never want to see injuries in the NFL. You want to see every team at full strength. So if you can't stand injuries, go ahead and type H down in the comments on this video. All right, so that's kind of it. A little Friday news dump for the Chicago Bears. Some injury updates and, of course, the roster moves, which, I'm puzzled by the timing of it. A Friday cut. I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. And why is Kamara getting cut too? Like, did he just want off the practice squad since he's been around for a couple of years? I don't know. Pretty interesting overall on that front. So here we go. Less than 2 days. About looking at my clock, 4:05 Central Time as I'm wrapping up this video. So by the time this gets out, we're less than 20 hours away, or less than 44 hours away. 20 hours away would be tomorrow. 44 hours away from kickoff on Sunday. I can't wait. Again, get those score predictions in. Get the F49s in as well. Gotta beat the Niners this week. Shock the world because, hey, the betting odds aren't rolling with the Bears, but we are. We're picking them 24-23, my official score prediction in this matchup. All right, that's going to do it for me on today's show. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Again, if someone gets promoted to the active roster or whatever, we'll put a comment down below. If they sign an external free agent, or something unforeseen, that'll probably be another video, so stay tuned, subscribe, turn on notifications. You already know that we're going to have you covered. All right, I'm Harrison Graham. You can follow me on social media at HGrahamNFL on Twitter, at HGrahamNFL on Instagram. Gonna have you covered all weekend long and leading up to kickoff on Sunday. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll see you soon here on Bears Now.